Come on now, Dino.
Especially when you got, Goliath punching at you. 6'9", 270. That's woo. And then dude
power
was smart.
punches.
Dude was smart too. Like every time they would get into an embrace or something, Fury would put Wilder like in a headlock or whatever, but he would lean on him. He would lean on all his weight. He would just put it on him. And I was like, oh, that dude is smart. He's smart. He wearing him down. He had no legs. He had no legs. He did. Now it was a TKO, but he hit the canvas several times between being knocked down and being tripped and off balance because his equilibrium was so off, and being his legs being so weak. Yeah, he hit the canvas a few times.
Yeah, I saw that in the
highlights. It actually, this was the first fight I can remember, and maybe the first fight I've seen where I saw the way it was stopped. The trainers threw in the towel.
Oh,
literally, that's in case you guys didn't know that where that term comes from, throwing in the towel.
Yeah, that's
where it comes from in boxing. When your fighters had enough, you throw in the towel
for them.
And so it was because he had them on the ropes and he was wearing them out. But it was good.
I was like, move your head.
Move anything.
Just move out of the way.
Pip is like, move along.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm like, it's cool. Here's the thing. I grew up watching boxing because my dad was love boxing. Although I didn't spend that much time with my dad. But
when we were kids, boxing was the greatest.
Yeah, if we were around my dad, it was around, the boxing was on. And I have an uncle like that too. And he tried to teach us how to box and stuff like that when we was kids. And I'm not anti-boxing. It's just like, I'm just not
I get it.
Into it.
Yeah, I get it.
And then these big fights, they just cost so much and all stuff like that. And it's like, they're not accessible, so I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
That's why I was mad.
I feel like there were two golden eras in my lifetime of things that I'm into. Or, boxing. I feel like there was a golden era when we were coming up.
When we were kids, though, you could see them on CBS Sports.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Walter Cronkite was doing it, and Muhammad Ali was on national TV. You didn't have to pay-per-view. There was no pay-per-view.
There wasn't. It wasn't. That came a little bit later on. I think probably in our teens, the pay-per-view started.
Yeah.
But around that time, too, still, because, from in our youth, we had the Tommy Hitman Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvelous Marvin Hagler. We had Muhammad Ali. We had Hagler. Oh, my God, there was just so many. Roberto Duran. There was just so many really great fighters. George Foreman. So many.
Wow.
And also the weight classes. It was amazing.
The way sports were just covered differently then, too, which is actually, there's way more sports on television now than there's ever been ever. Right. But sports were actually covered better back in the day.
And another difference is, all those people I just mentioned, even if you were a casual boxing fan,
you know who
you knew who all those guys were. Didi and I are just talking about this huge fight, two champions, unifying belts, whatever. It's a very big boxing match. Nobody knows who those guys are.
Right.
Like Pip, even though Pip is not a boxing fan or whatever, if this same fight was back in the day, Pip would know who those guys were.
Everybody would know.
But it was only on there was 3 channels, and that's what you saw. It was going to be on one of those advertised.
Right.
But again, like we were talking again, the way sports were done, you also saw like Evel Knievel on this like a sports show, like he jump buses on his bike. And so we all knew, and again, you didn't have to be a stunt fan or that kind of thing, but everybody knew that. Everybody was in on it, what everybody else was doing.
I am a tech guy, and I love technology and the advancement and this and that and all that kind of stuff. I got a little theater in my house and all that. But one thing about technology, I think I've said this before on the show, that I don't like is that community that's weird. That community that we don't have anymore.
Right.
Where like Pip said, there's 3 channels or whatever, so everybody was tuned into the same stuff, and everybody could talk about the same stuff. And same thing with music. Yeah. Everybody knew the big songs, whatever. Like that was all the way up until, fairly recently it was like that. This is real recent. That nobody knows. There's people who are
Grammy Award winning artists that I've never heard of.
Them.
And nobody knows. They have their little following or whatever, and they're considered successful.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're big stars.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I never heard you before,
ever.
But back then, you knew everything. It didn't have to be your jam, but you knew it.
Right.
You saw. You could see Chaka Khan and you can see like Susan Redding or somebody like that, or Gloria Gaynor, and then like what's her Dinah Shore.
Yeah,
like. Yeah. Well, I got nothing to do with no Dinah Shore, but I know who she is and I know what she does.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And I think that's, I feel like has affected a lot of stand-up comedy too. Because a lot of stand-up comedy references are pop culture. And a lot of times they would pick a song or something or an artist they popular. Could do that because everybody knew it. Now they kind of go away from that because everything's so fragmented and you find them talking more about political correctness or something that is something that everybody is kind of plugged into.
Race.
Right.
The gender issues.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting. And I do miss that about our world. I miss that.
Yeah, I do.
So what else, Didi? We know you were sick last week and you're feeling better.
Oh, my gosh. It has been just a plethora of things, it seems like, one after the other.
Yeah.
I still have not gotten my hood fixed on my car. We're still waiting for the piece to come or them to find the piece.
Did I know about that? I didn't know about that.
Yeah, they when they broke into my car, they used the tree branch and they broke the hood, so my hood doesn't close all the way. So I can't drive on the freeway.
Wow.
Yeah, can't drive on the freeway, so I have to take the streets everywhere. But other than that, I felt like I was coming down with like some type of cold or something. It was my friend's son's birthday on Thanksgiving, and we went to see that new Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Oh, yeah. Danya wants to see that.
Hilarious.
Not Thanksgiving.
Did I say Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Oh, my God. November. You guys. Valentine's Day. You see? I'm just
She's like, I know it came out on some holiday.
Yeah, one of those ones.
One of those recent holidays.
One of the recent ones. But we went to see it in the theater that makes the chairs move.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, with like the D-boxes.
The D-box.
Yeah.
D-boxes.
Yeah.
4X. Okay. 4 D-box.
Yeah, it just depends on which theater you go to. They got different names for it, depending on who.
I just call it the Captain EO seats.
But yeah,
it's a great movie. I really, really recommend it. But I don't know if it was just because I was in the theater with all them kids, or what. But the next day, I was feeling like dead, like I was sick. No, I was like, did I eat too much candy? I didn't even have that much candy.
Too many little germy critters.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, now I just start thinking about all the kids that was just walking out of the theater.
Touching everything.
And they put their mouth on everything.
Oh
and touch everything.
I just remember seeing the sea of little kids, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old.
Especially that age.
And I just started feeling sicker and sicker by the minute. And then on top of that, the next day, I had that little stomach thing that comes around, and it was not friendly. So not only was I sick to my stomach, I couldn't take medicine for that. So it was just all bad. I was out.
Yeah,
I was out the loop. But guess who came to check on me?
Jack.
Shar.
Oh, wow.
Shar.
Wow. Not Shar.
Shar.
Hey,
motherfucking Shar.
That is so crazy. I can't wait till they do the HBO series on your life, because whoever they cast for Shar is going to be a star.
Shar Jackson, of course.
Oh my God.
Who else? Shar Jackson's going to play Shar.
Shar Jackson's too old to play this Shar.
I know, but I had to go there.
Shar has been getting into fights.
Of course. We would have it no other way.
She's been getting into fights and getting jumped. And
oh, no. That I don't like.
Sky Jackson can play Shar.
It has to be somebody fair-skinned, I think.
She ain't that fair.
Shar?
I mean, she's not like Dino.
Yeah.
No, she's not like Dino. Wait a minute. No. But, yeah, so then, you guys, it was a lot. It was a lot that happened in like a little bit of time. So we're not speaking right now.
Oh, wow.
This is a pattern. That's all.
Yes.
It'll come around to the next time.
To
the next episode.
Yeah, to the next episode, I guess. But I had some wine in my refrigerator. I had like a little bit of vodka. She was like sneak drinking and drank up my liquor. And I was feeling sick. I had to go to work. Yeah, I had a client. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go home and make a hot toddy. And I went home to make my hot toddy, and I had no toddy for my hot tea.
She drank it all up, huh?
And I was like, well, you know what? I have some wine.
You better check your extracts. You may not have any more vanilla or almond extract either.
So apparently, Char was mixing the wine with the tea, and so that I did not
and the
know
NyQuil
that she was drinking it. And so then when I said something to her about when I talked to her on the phone, and she was, making sure she was okay because she was getting into it with her neighbors and they was fighting and stuff, and making sure she's okay. And she sounded weird, so I was like, "You been drinking?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I said, "What you drink?" She said she had 2 bottles of wine. Now I had dropped her off earlier that day.
4.
No, you said 2 bottles of wine?
Yeah.
Pip.
That means 4.
Bottles.
That means 4.
Well, she be dead.
So I was like,
that's crazy.
I don't think so.
How did you drink 2 bottles? I'm like, so not only did you have 2 bottles of wine somewhere, so if you had 2 bottles of wine, then why would you drink my wine and my liquor if you had 2 bottles of wine? Like, I don't get it.
2 bottles were gone. She drank
this
those
was before. First. She drank my stuff first.
Oh.
And then moved on to her stuff.
Oh.
This is not good.
So that's why I said something to her about it, and I wasn't like mad, but I was just like, why? And so then she started crying, and I was like, "Sure, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you." And then that turned into, "You judging me? No. Sure, I'm not judging you, but I think you probably should get some help because you was mixing the wine with the tea, baby. That's not good. Like, you can't."
Wow.
So now we're not talking.
No, she's not ready for that.
I'm delusional and
no, she's not ready to hear that. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm bossy.
Ready. She's not ready.
Yeah, to her, yeah, because you want to tell. You actually are concerned about. You know what? Here's the thing about people like where she's at right now. You love her more than she loves herself right now.
I feel that sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's true too.
Me and Char been friends for over 10 years. And I just feel like I want my old friend back, and I just feel like she's slipping further and further away, and she does not want to hear me.
She's not loving herself.
No.
I mean, she I don't know if it's the disease category now or what, but she's definitely not taking care of herself, self-care at all, because that's what you do when you don't love yourself and you'd rather be dead. Like, you're like, well, I can't commit suicide, so I'll just slowly do it by destroying myself. I've been there. I'm not trying to be judgy. Yeah. I've been there.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, y'all ready to go ahead and get this show started?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
News and noteworthy. The Shiznit.
So James Brown, there's a woman who claims his death was a murder.
Oh,
now there's not a lot of information about this, but basically they're just saying that this is a white lady who has gone to the police with stacks of what she considers evidence about foul play with James Brown's death. So James Brown died in 2006 on Christmas Day, and
his funeral just ended last week. It was as long as Aretha Franklin's.
And it looks like it was an overdose, but I guess there's some speculation that the overdose could be foul play.
Ooh.
So. And that's pretty much all we got right now.
You know, I remember. Do you remember when James Brown died? And it was a really long time before the funeral. It was like a couple of months or so before the funeral. And then, so you're thinking like after that kind of time, it's going to be just a memorial. Nope, open casket. There's the body. He's there, James Brown. And I'm like, wow. And then it was really long. Michael Jackson was there. Like everybody was there. And here he is, still on stage.
Still getting the cloak put on him.
Still on stage. I mean, I could imagine that he had quite a few enemies. Not that he was like, no. Sometimes he was an asshole. I mean, he had a reputation just being just one of those old school strong men that like who had money and was the boss and pissed people off because he gave zero fucks.
That's true.
And everybody can't take that.
That's true.
Wow. Yeah.
Plus all the women
that
he dealt with in his life.
Right.
And I'm not saying that because he treated them all bad. Some of them might have just wanted him and be jealous of other women in his life.
That's true. That's true. Or he could have just did something to one of them and that was she snapped. Okay. So I got a question.
Who's James Brown?
Who is James Brown? No. If it is a murder, who do you guys think would have done it?
I have no idea.